They don't get it. They just simply do not get it. October 2020. Adam Silver announced to the rapidly diminishing audience of the NBA that he was removing woke politics from the league. Now, contrary to the belief of Mark Cuban, woke politics is bad for business. If it were good for business, the NBA, they would have been thriving in the summer of 2020. This is also the reason that Roger Goodell and the NFL have been extremely hesitant to taste the rainbow. They will lightly dip their toes in the woke pond, but the bleach is always on standby to wash away the stain. Over the last 48 hours, the fake outrage has reached shattering levels on social media. Leaders of the woke army, including Brigadier General Shannon Sharpe and Captain of the Squad of Donated Cucumbers Rachel Levine, they have instructed their troops to engage in verbal battle. The fake outrage is surrounding the Supreme Court decision against Harvard, better known here on the channel as Woke U. The Supreme Court, they basically ruled that affirmative action during the college admissions process is illegal. On the surface, you would think the shitfucks would be thrilled with this decision. I have been to many Sunday morning services at Woke United Methodist. Recently fired pastor Father Jalen Rose, he was always preaching about the ecstasy of equality. Oh, equality. All men deserve the right to become pregnant. Women have earned the right to stay strapped. And I'm not talking about the gun. I am strictly referring to the barrel. You gotta understand what deacons are really saying when they preach about equality. Their version of equality is taking away opportunities from one group and giving those opportunities to whichever group they are considering to be marginalized at the time. Sometimes that group is classified as marginalized based on their race. Other times, groups are considered to be marginalized based on their bedroom proclivities. If you're involved with a sports league, especially a league that historically struggles, the debate on affirmative action, that is something that you want to stay far, far away from. No matter what your personal opinions are on the issue, keep it to yourself. If your opinion is exposed, you risk alienating half your audience. And when your audience numbers in the dozens, you don't have the luxury of losing 50% of them. For some reason though, WNBA dump divers, they just can't seem to grasp this concept. Have you guys noticed recently how silent LeBron James has been? I don't know, maybe the last 12 to 18 months? When it comes to political, social issues, LeBron James, he has exercised his right to remain silent. He finally came to the realization that he was ruining the NBA. Now, whether you love him or hate him, LeBron at least deserves the credit for having the self-awareness to realize his faults. Not the WNBA dump divers, though. No, 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 no! Yesterday morning, Natasha Cloud went off on a rampage on Twitter. Well, KC, who in the hell is Nathan Shroud? Nathan is one of the participants in pretend basketball, collecting minimum wage from the Washington Woke. Tasha's one of the elite dump divers. She has a strong sense of smell, kind of like a Cocker Spaniel. When we get towards the end of the month and woke welfare collectors have burned through their stamps, they rely on Natasha Cloud to sniff around to find scraps of food. She can sniff through a mountain of trash and find a dried, wrinkled cucumber. On the court, she has this amazing ability to confuse dozens of fans by attempting to score in the wrong basket. Now, of course, this doesn't hurt her team's chances to win because she always misses the shot. 3 years ago, WNBA ratings went from almost nothing to nothing due to the actions of Bob Griner. Bobby G was pushing for the removal of the national anthem. She was walking off the court during the playing of the national anthem. Brittany Griner was trashing America in the media. Now, you could look at that one of two ways. For the first time in history, the WNBA was finally being noticed. Shitfucks across America were professing their love for the bearded beauties. But there was just one problem. It didn't translate into popularity. It doesn't translate into television ratings. Wanker spankers make up a very, very small portion of the overall population. Natasha Cloud doesn't seem to understand this. Yesterday morning, Tosh Tosh unleashed a tirade of fake outrage on Twitter. Check it out for yourself. Our country is trash in so many ways. I am so tired of processing the garbage of these rich white people. I thought the WNBA would be appreciative of trash. Without the supply of garbage, the dump would go out of business. But let me make sure I'm understanding the logic here. Like I said a second ago, the shitfucks are constantly preaching about equality. With the removal of affirmative action, the Supreme Court basically instituted equality in the college admissions process. Instead of candidates being accepted based on their race or their affinity to the woke wiener, candidates are now judged based on their merit, their qualifications. That seems fair, right? According to Natasha Cloud, this is a form of oppression to marginalized groups. How? How exactly is this oppressive? Someone please explain to me how this could be classified as oppression. Of course, Natasha Cloud doesn't explain how it's oppression. She just throws the word out there expecting people to believe it. If I had to guess, Natasha Cloud doesn't know what oppression means. There's not too much background information available on Natasha Cloud. In order for your personal background to be released publicly, people have to actually care to look it up. But I was able to find just a little bit of information on Natasha Cloud. As it turns out, she attended a private high school. She received her college education from St. Joe's. She receives a six-figure salary from the WNBA to pack dozens of people into a high school gym in Washington, D.C. Does that sound like oppression to you? Because to me, it sounds like privilege. It sounds like someone who should be appreciative of the opportunities that this country's given her. Instead, this woman has the audacity to call the country trash. That is a slap in the face to every single member of the military who sacrificed their life so Natasha Cloud has the opportunity to collect money that she hasn't earned. It's a slap in the face to every widow who lost her husband to a war, fighting for the freedom of speech Natasha Cloud has right now to call the country trash without repercussions from the government. Speaking of war, that is exactly what Natasha Cloud is trying to start. Check it out for yourself. Here we go again with a call for war when there's nothing to fight for. These people love to compare their current situation to the situation of minorities in the 1800s. She follows up this bullshit with a threat to leave America. Natasha Cloud, if you want to leave America so bad, I can make it really, really simple for you. I'll have a first-class ticket waiting for you at the airport. This will be something new for you since you're not accustomed to riding in first class. I promise you, the amenities you will enjoy are far greater than the amenities you receive riding on that Greyhound bus. Matter of fact, why don't you ask Brittany Griner what it's like living outside of America? The next time you see Bob Griner, instead of participating in a game of Spin the Cucumber, ask her what it was like to spend 10 months living in Russia. Recently, Natasha Cloud told the Philadelphia Inquirer that she doesn't feel safe here in America. I'm not safe when I leave the dump. I'm not safe on the Greyhound bus. I feel like the cops are targeting me because I look like a black man. Where am I safe? Oh, where am I safe? I can tell Natasha Cloud where she'll be safe. A WNBA game. Safest place in America? A WNBA gym. There ain't no one there. You don't have to worry about being attacked. You don't have to look over your shoulder. If you happen to look over your shoulder, all you're going to see is rows and rows of empty bucket seats. The only people who aren't safe inside the WNBA dump are biological women. If you're a biological woman, I would advise you to stay far, far away from the dump. Now, just to be clear, the dump divers, they're not going to physically harm you. They're pretty harmless. But if you're a natural woman, these bearded beauties, they are not afraid to shoot their shot. And just like their basketball shots, they always miss. Natasha Cloud also complained to the Philadelphia Inquirer about the mythical racism here in America. Black men who look like me are still being incarcerated. This is racism! This is a common tactic that is utilized by parishioners at Woke United Methodist. They point to the demographics of the prison system and claim the system's racist. This is also another example of the parishioners presenting a problem without a real solution. Their solution to the problem is defunding the police, offering no cash bail. I know how to keep minorities out of prison. Let's get rid of the cops and eliminate bail. This way, prisons will be empty. It's a win-win. While we're at it, Why don't we just get rid of all criminal charges? That way, the crime rate will be 0%. Obviously, these are not real solutions to the prison problem in the black community, but they never want to talk about real solutions. You ever notice that? Their solution is to make the streets more dangerous so normal people get so miserable they're willing to give up their personal freedoms under the guise of being safe. If Natasha Cloud was really concerned about the black population being incarcerated, she would be pushing real solutions like active fathers in their child's life, education, preventing young black men from dropping out of school. Here's a foreign concept for woke welfare collectors. How about getting a job? There have been dozens of studies that have proven people who are actively working, they tend to stay out of trouble. It makes sense. When you're working, when you're being productive, you don't have time to break the law. Let me ask you something. It is no secret that the WNBA is struggling. The other day, we talked about the small arena outside of Atlanta lowering the capacity for WNBA games just to make attendance figures look better. The dump divers are struggling to fill mid-major college gyms. This tirade from Natasha Cloud yesterday on Twitter. How many tickets did this sell? Calling America trash. How many Americans were convinced to give the WNBA a chance? Clearly, these dump divers have learned absolutely nothing from Brittany Griner. Last year, they were begging for John Biden to bring Bob Griner back home. If America is trash, if America is so oppressive, why in the hell were you begging to bring Brittany Griner back here? You mean to tell me you wasted all that time last year just to bring Brittany Griner back to America so she could be oppressed? This is just speculation on my part, but I think Adam Silver implemented an unwritten rule that NBA players could not publicly speak on political and social issues. Now, I don't know that for sure, but how else can you explain the silence throughout the NBA? NBA players, they went from being the most vocal to the most silent. As a result, casual fans, they have started to come back. If I'm Kathy Engelbert and I have been tasked with running the WNBA dump, I would issue a similar policy in the WNBA. What's the worst that could happen? What do you have to lose? Well, KC, players could leave the dump and choose to play overseas. So? There's not a star in the league. Who cares if Natasha Cloud chooses to play overseas? That might actually be a good thing for the WNBA. Professional complainer Liz Cambridge, she's playing overseas right now. Does anyone miss King Kong? Maybe a policy like this will eliminate the complainers in the WNBA, which would open up the opportunity for women who look like women to enter the league. Well, KC, the quality of play would decline. The quality of play is already embarrassing. It can't get any worse. Like I said, Kathy Engelbert, she has nothing to lose here. The only way you're going to get men to watch the WNBA is if you fill the league with beautiful women. Women who actually love their country instead of women who constantly complain about it. But give me your thoughts. Natasha Cloud calls America trash, which I guess is kind of fitting since she is a professional at processing trash. Do you think this will hurt the WNBA, or is this league such a huge embarrassing failure that nothing could further damage it at this point? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.